Guys, I'm really, really excited for this one today. Not just because of this whole microphone thing, but also because if Lorenzo is here, hi Sasha. If Lorenzo's missing out on his favorite activity, and you guys are going to experience that today. So, as you all know, the topic today is authenticity. So, how do you be authentic? You kind of have to figure that out, right? We'll come to understand it's a very personal thing. But to get us in the mood of being authentic, I have a great activity for us. And much better than last week for those of you who were here last week, where I was talking the whole time. This is going to be more engaged in discussion. It's going to be really fun.
Wait, was there a thing last week?
Oh, sorry, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, thank you for saying.
Been deceived.
Yeah, Delat's trip. So, guys, this activity is called Do or Dare. And nobody here was part of the first one, so I'm happy to do this one. So, what I have here is the Wheel of Do's, as you can see all on my computer. And what we're going to do is be authentic as we can, as one can.
I'm scared.
And so this gets you to open up your full version of yourself and the little mini challenges, lighthearted challenges. Don't worry, there's nothing extreme like going out and kissing a stranger or anything like that.
Aww.
Fuck.
So there's 41 of them. I don't know how many we'll get to, but you'll see during this that it's pretty fun. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin the wheel. Whatever shows up, I'm gonna read the name here, and then we'll just go in a circle, and everyone's gonna do one. It's kind of like Truth or Dare, but it's like a spin the wheel type of thing.
Expectations are way up.
So, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. The first one.
Did you make them yourself?
I did. The first one is Silly Walk. So Silly Walk is I have to walk from point A to B in the silliest way possible. So from across the room. All right, excuse me, guys.
That looks pretty normal to me.
Almost got it.
Okay. Amazing. Good. Wow. A little exaggerated.
That was for last night.
There's someone from the pub. Okay. Who would like to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first?
Whatever it is.
Let's do one for each.
Huh?
Let's do one for each, so I will do different one.
Yeah, of course.
I mean one, another one.
Yeah, of course.
Each for each.
Each person's a different one.
Different walk?
No.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Whatever it is.
Okay, sure, let's go.
You're not gonna walk. You're gonna do whatever this thing is.
Unless he comes up a walk.
No, I removed it. It's gone.
Oh, it's scary.
Yours is dream. Okay, so you have to stand up and share a dream you've never pursued.
A dream I've never pursued. Oh my god, so much tension.
Take the stand. Take the stand.
So my dream is
I have a dream.
I have a dream that one day oh my god.
The first thing on your mind. That's it.
The first thing is that I accomplished that and that I couldn't dream of living the life I have right now. So I wanted to be a vet and I want to have a dog. I think that's the dream I cannot afford right now and cannot like in the foreseeable future. I'm holding the microphone, yes. So if anyone has a dog and can let me pet, I'll be happy to fulfill this dream this way. Yeah. Thank you for coming to my
Amazing. Okay, you ready? And there's some pretty cool ones in here. Pretty.
That's so good, honestly.
Ready? Okay, so this one is. Oh.
Silly dance.
No, close. It's called backwards speech. So you're gonna have to say a tongue twister that the group comes up with backwards as accurately as possible. I'll write it up on the board, okay? And you're gonna say it. You're gonna say
Can
it.
you
Back.
spell it or?
Yeah. We'll create it. What should the sentence be or the phrase be, guys? We're gonna come.
What Sam says is a seashell.
She sells seashells on the seashore.
Just seashell.
Put Sam into it.
That's a good one. That's a
Sam.
good
Sam
one.
sells.
Sam sells. She sells.
What is the first language?
German.
You must have pretty good tongue twisters, right?
Yeah.
That could be a,
Whoa.
that could be a side hustle of yours.
So you want to say it backwards?
So,
Or just,
what does it mean? Like I start just with the last word, or I say even the letters backwards?
Yeah, no, not like. I mean, maybe if you want to do it like that.
No. Like I just start like with the last word, right?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it a few ways, right? Let's do it the front way and then there's the back way.
Okay. Sam sells seashells on the seashore.
That was easy.
Try it easier. Okay. Shore see the on shells, sea sells Sam.
Can you say it backwards from the letters?
Yeah, right.
You was a ace it no slash a ace slash mess.
Very well.
I love it.
That wasn't dancing. That was the first for me. Like verb or something. Oh god.
All right.
Give me something crazy.
Okay, you want it crazy? Let's see what the crazy one is. Oh, okay. This one is you have to hold a yoga pose based on the group's choosing.
Ashtanga.
Handstand.
Handstand. I'll do my best.
Moon pose.
Could be a made up yoga.
Could be made up. We got a yoga teacher. What's a good one?
I was like trying to think if you could do like a dancer's pose kind
A
of.
dancer.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I like that. The dancer.
The
Yeah.
dancer is like.
Okay, that's a good
Yes,
one.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
come here.
But as long as you can.
30 seconds.
Can we take pictures?
30
Oh, Teddy. I don't want to grip your pants.
Count.
I already have
On the inside of your phone.
What do you mean?
You have a teacher.
Oh, teacher.
Yeah,
show
opposite
me.
it. Can you put the hands up? 10
Yeah,
seconds
hands
left.
Up, hold it.
Feet up.
4 quarters of the foot on the mat.
Never done.
Yeah! Okay. Next up. Next up. Next up. Uh-oh.
Give her something, yes.
This one is called Scary. So, you, 39, are going to share your biggest fear and why it scares you.
My biggest fear.
Bugs.
Frogs.
Frogs?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I grew up near the what's the name where people fish. Maybe that reflects
Swan.
like all my childhood. I was listening to frogs are very scary. Wow. yeah. Oh my god. Sorry. I would like I'm scared to I don't know to pet the snake, but frogs are like
Really?
Yeah.
The snake eats the frog.
And that's
Yes.
true.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Once you've been in a restaurant, you've been killing
Very
frogs.
nice. I got it.
Seeing them off the rock, and then when she saw that. Where?
I mean,
Last year.
people eat frogs, I know.
Ah, no frogs for you. Okay. Amazing, thank you. Okay, Sasha,
Yeah, I'm ready.
you ready?
You heard something.
You have, you have a song gargle. This is number 15. So you're gonna gargle water while attempting to sing a song while others is trying to guess the song.
So I need water.
Yeah, of
And
course.
sing song with
Oh my god,
like
you're the
with
funniest, bro.
I created it, brother.
It's so good.
You inspired me, oh my god.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know
it's
where
fun,
to
it's
spend
good.
that.
Okay, can you think of a song everyone would know?
can I maybe oh,
Come in the middle.
Stage.
This is the stage.
so stupid songs I have.
We love stupid songs.
So it should be like
Gargle.
It's
okay, whatever. It came to my head, so it's gonna be this.
We don't touch.
What's the price?
Okay.
Don't laugh.
Like that's difficult.
Good?
What song is that?
It's the carousel, like the carousel song. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. It's this whatever.
Like that? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Amazing. I don't know the name of that song, but I got the tune. I know that. Amazing. Good job. Okay, this one is achievement. So you're going to tell the group about a recent personal achievement and how it made you feel.
I actually, when I came to the NAG like last September, I said I came to a few conscious like classes, and I was like, I'm gonna start teaching here, and I recently started teaching for conscious. So that's good.
Oh wow.
I did it to myself, like I went to a couple of classes, like I want to get my name on the schedule, and then I did.
There we go. Manifest. Amazing. Good job. Okay, let's get an advanced one for George.
And it's a difficult one.
Crazy.
George? Oh, please, please, please. Yes! George, your challenge is lost tourist. So you're going to be on the street out here, pretending to be a lost tourist and ask for absurd directions like to the Eiffel Tower or the moon.
Oh. So we need to look from there.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as...
Good luck, man. Good luck.
If there's someone that passes by, then put
No, there's
Street. And lots of people.
Yeah, it must have been weird and weird.
Maybe we should cry.
Lost
Maybe we should
tourists.
cry, though.
Oh, perfect.
There's this thing.
But everybody, oh no, it's
Because this seems obvious.
Yeah, for us.
Where's George?
Maybe we should just cry.
Then I came in, I was like, oh,
let's record that.
Minutes is recorded. Go left, SBI. Maybe. Eiffel Tower, please. Oh my god, this is so funny.
Oh no.
He's so.
He's a lost tourist for
Let's
sure.
have an empty bottle in his hand.
Come on, this is easy on empty street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, we will not.
Come on, people, come on.
There was just a guy, but now where is he?
Come up to the right
Lost.
side.
He's just looking around. Okay. Can you go back?
Now it's lost forever.
There's no one
He
actually.
will not come back anymore.
Maybe he left for life. Maybe he really found it.
He's going to make new friends now.
Okay,
You went to
George.
the other.
Oh, there.
He went interview.
You found someone.
You
You found someone. It's true as well. Go into the foot massage. Foot massage.
Foot massage.
Massage.
Happy hour.
Ask to see if you're.
It's like still looking for someone.
And the other guy is just looking at him.
It's like, who's gonna tell him?
You guys seen him?
This is perfect. He's looking for someone and still lost.
Go inside, yeah. Oh, I get it. This is so
Okay.
good. I mean, you didn't tell him how much time does it have?
Yeah. I should probably make some time.
Oh my god.
He's there. He's still.
Kind of sorry.
Bro, you did a good job. Did he say Eiffel Tower?
It's like everyone's looking spectating.
Everyone's like, I don't speak any
Wait.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good job.
Georgie. Good job, George.
So I asked the barber where the Great Wall of China was. He didn't understand the question, but he said, China? China! So I think he answered it.
Good job, bro.
Well, no, nobody spoke English.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a dead street. Okay. This one's a good one. And it's perfect because he's already on his phone. So, 28, you are going to convince a stranger to take a selfie with you.
Oh, nice.
That's easy for him.
Easy.
The same dude.
That would be so funny.
I would have just been like,
But here I got asked for selfies at least 4 times.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Give me the kid and it has like, here, take up a picture with my kid.
he has to go take a selfie.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
not
the
the
same
same.
dude.
Yeah,
Like over to the room with the people I never
He's like,
What's next? Like, okay, they're doing
This guy's having a great day.
one more.
The next challenge should be posting it. Actually, I have it already. Oh, this is a good one. No one's watching it now. It's like, where did he?
he's still doing it.
Oh, that's really funny.
Can I take extra?
Nice. Okay, next.
Something nice, please.
Something nice.
Divorce your husband.
You are, oh, it is laughing. So this one is you are going to laugh as hard as you can without smiling
Without smiling?
or grinning.
Is it possible? Okay.
singing.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, new member, 24. So, you're gonna have 2 minutes to walk outside and find someone on the street to convince them to join our class.
Oh,
Oh, that's the same guy.
Same guy. Oh God. Okay, let's see. I will try my best.
Oh my god, yeah.
We need to see the selfies now.
Yeah.
The guy, what's going on here? iPhone tower, selfie. Oh, there.
But he's working, he cannot leave shops, bro.
Bring some coffee.
I reckon she just has to hold his hand and carry him here.
Same guy, come on. Come on.
This guy's getting talked about.
Does she speak Vietnamese?
Ah.
Yeah, she does.
Really?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Bring some coffee for me.
Oh yeah. Everyone
Green
please.
coconut.
You can join if he brings coffee for everyone.
Looks like the
We need fresh meat.
He's coming!
Yes. I need to earn money.
Maybe like
so-
give me a number. There's some security guy over there.
Security guard.
Yeah, I could say.
She's part Vietnamese. That's why.
And he comes in and see all of us.
He only sees us probably standing here, no?
She's got a
Is it
minute.
possible to see from the outside?
I don't think so. Not very well.
I think he works there.
Maybe he's calling somebody. Keep the stand.
Oh really?
Maybe.
I guess she found a boyfriend.
I mean, he looks good. So.
And then he has to do the next challenge.
George, tell her she has 1 minute left.
1 minute left!
Good time.
The guy didn't even know. Didn't even pay attention too.
Yeah, he has no idea. We've been looking at it.
That's like that guy.
So close. It's okay.
It's okay.
Maybe he said he's joining next
Okay,
week.
poor guy.
You said he's joining next week.
Next challenge is for him too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well
So he actually has a hair appointment soon, so.
Careful.
But yeah, he will consider it next time. So his English is not that good, but I said we're here every Sunday, so let's see.
Oh, we thought you speak
Hopefully.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, but he still uses Google Translate. My Vietnamese is kind of sucks, but yeah. And I don't really look Vietnamese to them, so they still use the Google Translate. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Tam. Good job.
Now ask a stranger to
Oh.
do flips.
Oh, you are the sound machine. So you are going to create fun sounds with your mouth.
Maybe animal sounds.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you do animal sounds, then we have to guess it. We have to guess the animal.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, pig. Can you do one more?
It sounded like. Duck.
No, like chicken. Goose.
Chicken.
Swan.
Turkey.
Frog?
Yes.
She needs to know
Yes,
this
yes. Sorry, but
Oh, that's great. Perfect. Good job. Okay.
Ask a stranger too.
You are the dance trend. So you're going to invent a new dance move on the spot and teach it to all of us.
Okay. Well, stand up. One dance move?
Yeah. Whatever you got for us.
A full performance even
A
now.
full-
Yeah, full performance.
You know, whatever.
Okay. Blank. Now you guys.
Can you do it one more time?
We start like this, and then we hop up here, and then we turn. Ta-da!
I love it. Good job. Okay.
Give him something juicy.
Juicy, Brian.
The last one. The last one.
Oh, this is the perfect one. It's the selfie post. So you're gonna post a silly selfie on your main social media account. No
We need the
stories.
proof. We need the proof.
I haven't posted in social media in like a decade, but I can.
That's
Oh, the decade!
Big likes for this
Will
one.
you guys be in it with me, or is it just?
Why not?
myself?
A silly selfie, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
You choose.
That'd be cool. I don't know. Just want to take a picture together then. Yeah.
Just tell us how you want it.
But you have to be in the front. and
Yeah, I
side.
understand the selfie aspect.
Yeah, we can all sit in the back.
I like.
We'll just be dead.
Maybe on the ground like this.
Feel the horse. That's a good one.
Like hunting trophies.
Let's be there.
Jeez.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
I'll repost it.
I don't think that people
Anyone have fake blood?
Don't smile.
I'm gonna take it with the front.
More.
Let me check. What's there? A bunch of sleeping people. Except for George is the only one who
You
can
got
sit.
All right, I want to see it.
And we all of us have to like it.
And tag
Now
conscious
we all
to
follow
know.
you.
Where is that? Facebook?
You know, that's a good point. I don't have Instagram on my phone, but it could be on Instagram or Facebook.
Facebook.
Go with Facebook, yeah.
Where you have the most friends? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be Facebook.
Yeah, that's-
Would be good to like write a comment. Like,
Where are these? Where
Are
am
they
I?
alive? You're deaf closely.
it's like a dead roach.
I want to see this photo.
Do you guys want to help me caption it? Or
Then we can just boo ha ha ha.
That's a good one.
It's your choice.
Wahahaha. You want me to tag conscious?
Dinner
tonight?
for tonight.
Oh yeah, or me.
Dinner for
Whatever.
tonight.
Or
Yeah.
me.
I don't think I'm on Facebook.
Why not?
What do you think?
Yeah, she's the.
Tell us if you can use it.
Put some good hashtags too.
You think so?
Deaf. Hashtag And so
That comes to us all.
Hashtag suffering.
Something philosophical.
Finally.
so there's one quote from a
Game
friend.
is over.
There's one quote from a friend a couple days ago. He said, "The only thing you have to do is to die. Everything else is choice."
Whoa. There's your quote.
Can you say it one more
I
time?
would just like, Mom, everything is good.
So
Oh my God.
Mom, probably.
His mom is gonna be like, what the heck are you
You
doing?
wouldn't die. Wait, what did you say?
the only thing you have to do is to die. Everything else is choice.
Oh my god. I would think that he might kill something.
Police.
I mean, it's fine.
I want to see it by next week.
Come on, do it. Just post.
I'm gonna write what you said.
After a decade.
Serial
There
killer
forever.
in Vietnam.
And his classmates, I wonder how he's doing.
By the way,
10 years later.
there's no extradition law in Vietnam.
Or like write it as a confession, like I did it. They don't breathe no more.
Why do we make him look
And then tag your parents.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, we'll make something.
I'm so confused too.
Is it posted?
Like, do you care?
I think.
That's really good.
Now it's posted.
Show it, show it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. There's the picture.
Oh.
Removes violating guidelines.
You didn't record it.
Maybe they take off your picture.
Don't delete it.
I'm
Compliance.
I just want to see the last time I wrote on Facebook.
Yeah. But he tagged me, so I will know.
2010?
Hello.
When was it?
Yes.
So guys, I would love to do this just forever, you know, but I mean, we have stuff to talk about.
Be serious.
Yeah, let's be serious now. What do you guys think of that? How did it feel to compete or to complete those dares?
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had something challenging. Take myself and get some
Well, I
challenge.
felt fear. Like, what if something like I need to do?
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rivet.
And when all attention is one person and that person has to do something, that's pretty overwhelming.
It's weird to. Did you enjoy stepping out of your comfort zone like that? I like the sounds you made.
Yeah. I don't like it.
It's interesting because you probably did you learn anything about yourself during this? I mean, it's interesting to experience what you feel when you're in front of a group and doing this like weird activity that you've probably, I mean, unless you take selfies with people all the time, it's a normal thing, but not often as rivet, like just making sounds or posting on your story for a long time. Like, did you learn something about yourself during this practice?
For me, my Vietnamese is shitty when under pressure. So that's why he took on his phone, and then I started to mix Vietnamese and English.
Yeah, I could tell a story that my brother had when we were living in New York. He was feared that if you do something crazy on Times Square, the sniper is gonna shoot you. And then there was me and a friend and him. He just said, let's lay on Times Square on the street.
In the middle of Times Square.
Yeah.
Really?
So the goal was 30 seconds.
30
So
seconds.
we laid for 2 minutes. Nobody even paid attention to
They
us.
stepped.
Nobody even like looked at us. And so we are so in our minds
Mhm.
thinking that somebody's thinking about us. So we were laying literally on the ground and nobody even approached us. Nobody even looked at us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, that was like one of my fears. So we had like a mastermind group. And so we had like social experiments and stuff. And I wanted to lay in the middle of Times Square, but I was fearing that there might be snipers on the buildings looking for unusual behavior.
What made you think that?
because of 9/11.
Because of
Yeah,
Look at
there,
him.
back
Yeah,
then there were
we
some
have
like
freedom.
attacks in the subways.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
2016, 2017. There were in some parts of New York there were a lot of like terrorist attacks, and I was fearing that there might be snipers looking for some behavior, and
Wow.
but they might be. I think they.
You didn't get sniped off.
No, he's still here.
Wow. So lucky. Yeah, it's interesting though, because this is the idea of like you think that other people are gonna think of you, and this blocks ourselves from being authentic, especially when there's other people around, and this idea of not being normal. It's like, okay, then what am I supposed to act as? What am I supposed to be as? And then that's why people like to do these types of things where they're super random, uncomfortable, pushes you outside of your comfort zone and not be normal, and redefine normal. Your definition of normal is your authenticity, right? So by you being your normal, not saying like this is a culture thing, so I'm normal inside of this culture. No, I'm normal for what I believe and what I've come to understand is my culture. There's many cultures in the world, but creating your own type of values and beliefs, you come to understand you're normal. And so there's like inside of this is just a really helpful practice just by doing something random. It helps you open up your authenticity. And it's a hard thing at times, but I mean, there's a few components that are involved in authenticity. I would say there's 5. And when we look at when someone is authentic, would you say that there's like a scale of how authentic someone can be?
Well, there is a line between, if I can share something. So let's say somebody wants to do authentic and wants to do something crazy. Are they doing just to prove some point to somebody, so to showcase their ego, or are they doing because it's their true, it's their nature?
I think that's a false self, right? So when you talk about doing something and trying to gain something, that's a false self. And we'll talk about this. This is something that I want to talk about. There's like the idealized self and then the false self, right? And the only difference is between the originating intention. Why? If you either want to gain or you want to create. That's the two differences, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
For me, the scale could be relying on the perception of other people of me, or relying on my own feelings and needs.
What did you just say there? Relying on your own feelings, right? So how can we judge authenticity when it's you relying on your own feelings?
Only I can judge, I guess.
Yourself, right?
But
So if I were to say, like at the beginning of this activity, if whoever is the most authentic, I will give you a PDF book at the end of this.
God, I want it
Anyone
so
heard?
much.
Anyone heard of The Go-Giver, the book?
I've heard it. Yeah.
It's a very good book.
Yeah.
It's about creating and giving and making success while giving at the same time. And I'm going to give you guys all of that inside. I'm going to give you the free PDF inside the community. But if I were to say, I'm going to give you this, whoever individual is the most authentic. Is that fair for me to say? How can I judge that authenticity? What would it feel like if I were to say you were more authentic because you did this? And what would it make you guys feel like?
Trying to be like him. Everybody then.
Yeah.
Having some.
maybe we had all one task.
Right.
But again,
It's still.
Again, yeah.
How can you judge someone based on their efforts? When
Well, but you can see when somebody is authentic. For example, a few weeks ago we had a neighbor in our hotel that was singing under the shower, and you could hear every he was literally showering for 15 times a day. And every time he goes inside, he would sing. And I would say, oh my God, look how he's authentic. He doesn't even care. Which, I mean, I love it. But she was super angry because she didn't like it. It it was noisy, you cannot work in the room, and then, okay, eventually she said to him, no, can you sing, inside of your apartment, because you shower close to our shower, and we hear everything, so.
He changed the room.
Then he came there.
He was like, you're stopping my authenticity.
He's
Yeah,
not
but,
Yeah,
but, I
this is
think,
my-
but I think that's authentic.
below me. He's not below me.
Yeah.
So this is like, I mean, I love that. It's a cool example of someone being authentic, and then that like kind of like
And I
trend.
like it.
But
Yeah.
so she wanted to set boundary, which is also healthy, which is also authentic. But I was expressing my opinion. Oh my God, he's so authentic. He's singing. He's expressing himself without being fear of being judged.
Mhm.
Okay, even if it sucks at singing, but it was really cool to see, and I loved it.
It's interesting, these two perspectives, right? It's
Yeah.
like your thought process is like, wow, this is super authentic, and wow, this is disruptive. So what if the intention was to disrupt you? How could you tell if it was to disrupt you or to be authentic? Could you really tell? Sometimes you can, but this is like something that I just kind of am aligned with, right? I always assume someone is being fully authentic with me, and this is that frequency that I'm at, right? This is that level that I'm at. So I immediately can tell, based on just intuition, that I know this person is not being real. You can all have that. You know when someone's being fake to you, don't you?
You get the vibes.
You
right?
get the vibes,
Yeah.
right? But do you believe that you need to be authentic first, or is it?
Yeah. Sometimes I do, yeah. I feel like the more I step into my authenticity is the more I see bullshit.
Mhm.
I think sometimes it's really difficult. So for me, because I have never thought about really fitting in since I didn't fit in. So I didn't mean it to what I said. Look at him. I didn't meant for you to say as a cliche, but for me it was just the same. Look at me. I'm not white. So basically, and growing up in Germany, so I was never really fitting in, even though I was inside, but I also find it very difficult sometimes just to be authentic, because in a system sometimes being authentic makes you vulnerable too.
True.
Because you show your weaknesses, you show your true thoughts, your true intentions, and I learned that sometimes just having empathy and just having kind intentions makes you feel weak, and
Yeah.
people want to use you for their advantage, and that's what I got.
Have you noticed that you've actually been taken advantage of?
Yeah.
A lot?
A lot, yeah. So especially during work, and
So is that a boundaries? Is that like a thing where you're not setting boundaries, or is it that you just
I
are?
used to, yes, and then I learned my lesson, and then I just became, I don't know, I think I then molded into society's expectations,
Right.
because they told me, okay, it's not safe for you to be authentic, so you have to put on a mask.
Right.
So like in Japanese philosophy, it's just the same, right? The mask that you have in front of your friends, the mask that you show to the society, and also the mask that, or your inner self that you don't show to anyone, except yourself.
Right.
I think it's quite difficult, but it got better since I came here.
Mm.
I think since just to be authentic, but you have to be careful, I think.
I totally agree with this on some level, just because when you are fully authentic and you're showcasing number 4, which is the component of vulnerability or of authenticity, is being vulnerable. Yes, you can open yourself up to being used, being taken advantage of, but that is not a case of you being too authentic. It's just a case of not showing your boundaries. And this is a key difference, because when you are super authentic and you're showing the best version of yourself, it is going to inspire people to want to even be around you, to work with you, to buy from you if you're selling stuff,
or even if you just want to just be it shows that you really care, that you, inside of this book, The Go-Giver, they talk about 5 different laws, and the fourth law is authenticity, where this woman, she was trying to work so hard to be an amazing realtor. She was trying to sell so many properties, and she was focused so much on the skill set of being trying to sell this and sell this and sell this and learning all the skills, all the things that you could say to persuade someone, to manipulate someone in the sales tactics, right? She never got a sale until one day she let all of that go and was just caring for this person that was looking at the house. She was just looking at the house and she was just asking her questions, just being genuine, being human. And she bought the house. The one key ingredient that's always missing is just you. You are the value. It's not your skill set, because 90% of this that you can learn is, or what you bring to the table, is your authenticity. 10% of it is only skills. Yeah.
I know, I was just talking about this with Chris recently about like jobs. And I remember when I finished university, I lived in London for 1 year. And because we were just saying something about like, I said something like it's a full-time job trying to find a job. And this was in London now where like, you know, it's very competitive and things. And I was like, I started applying for a job that did not align with me at all, but for some reason I was like, I'm going to make loads of money doing this job. It was like a recruitment consultant, which does not align with me whatsoever. I'm so far from that kind of like, you know, environment, but I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make loads of money. So I went to like so many interviews and I got turned down because I learned off before I went. Like, I was still myself, like, but at the same time I wasn't being myself, because they were like asking me things like, you're going to make a lot of money in this job now, like what are you going to spend your money on? And I'm there like, oh, I might like get flight lessons, like, you know, so like I was just like coming up with anything, you know, because money is not like, has never been my main focus, but I just thought, oh, move to London, make loads of money, you know, like just finish university. But I wasn't being authentic, whereas I actually think, even though that job does not suit me now, just the growth I've had from the age of 23 to 29 now, I just feel like I could get that job because I could just go in and be authentically myself now. Because it's been such a really deep process that I went through to become authentic. So yeah, I just feel like the more authentic you are, the easier it is to get a job.
The easier it is to do.
Like you said, with the skill set, it doesn't really matter your skill set. Yeah.
It doesn't. I can tell you a story. Inside of when I was, a few years ago, when I was living in Arizona, I had 0 skills of being a waiter. 0 skills of being a waiter. I lied to the company saying that I knew how to wait and serve people.
I did that for a bar as well.
Right,
yeah.
and they hire people based on experience. And I learned later on inside of the company that they were like telling me like, dude, you're so lucky. Like, you're so lucky because I've been waiting to get a serving position from here for such a long time. I show up randomly out of nowhere. I'm authentic, I'm charismatic, and I get the job as a server. And they even took one of the other servers that I was hired with, and they told him that he actually had experience to be a busser and to work into doing a different job, just because I was being real. I was being very charismatic and open and honest, and I mean, even though I wasn't honest on the resume or the CV.
Yeah, but if you like just show up as yourself.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, yeah, I mean, I have some experience in a restaurant. I basically, I fabricated the conversation, and I got the job, made so much money doing it, and I was very happy with it because I just showed up as the best self I could be to show them, and that was the exact version of myself I was through the entire time I worked with them. And it's just because of how authentic I was. If I were to show up and just be there just for the money, like majority of those servers are, you can just tell that the feeling or the vibration, the energy that comes off of these people, it's very needy, it's very me, I get this. Oh, they only left me a $20 tip. What is this bullshit? You know?
Yeah, that's the culture in that type of industry.
But did you have a moment like
actually I don't care if I get a job or not?
No, I did care. I actually applied for 2 jobs and I got those 2 jobs. And I was just telling them, and they were both in the serving area, but just they just
Well,
said,
yeah,
yeah.
that's such an amazing experience. I can feel your I would say the things you went through. So Brad and I, when we moved to New York, it was okay. We wanted to start doing something, and so we heard that restaurants are easy to work there. I mean, not super easy, but and so we applied to more than 200 restaurants. And I remember I went to one restaurant. It was called Un Lutrat on Times Square. And honestly, I don't know even how I got the job, but it was super luxury restaurant.
Yeah.
I was serving Ben Stiller, Sarah Jessica Parker,
Yeah.
ex-president of CIA. I didn't even know some of the guests that were so famous.
Yeah.
And the manager would tell me, oh, you need to keep an eye on that. I don't even know how I got the job. I think it was mostly based on, I was just charismatic, I was just being
As real as you could be.
And other restaurants were looking for experience, but I didn't have experience. And all of them rejected me. But this person hired me, maybe because I was just, being authentic.
This is the thing about that big companies that they make this wrong mistake on, is they hire for skills. You can train skills all the time. That's the thing you can train. You can't train authenticity. This is the self that works on this. You can't train someone to be authentic because, as we just talked about, it's a very internal thing. I can't judge you for how authentic you're being unless you tell me that you're not being authentic with yourself. It's how can I say it? How can I have a right to say what you are acting? How you're showing up? I can't say that.
How about people who are not charismatic but more of like introverted and slow and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can be authentic, but the job field is different than, for example,
Yeah, you
service.
don't need to be charismatic.
Hmm?
You don't need to be charismatic to be authentic.
Yeah, you don't. These are the components of authenticity. Charismatic is not on there, but this one, courage,
Yeah.
that's courage to be expressive fully as who you are, not trying to withhold anything and to say, I can't be this version of myself because this is going to be the repercussions of if I do that. That's limiting in some way, right? I can't act this way because of this. It's a very limiting thing.
You can be a bad person too and then still be authentic.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like when I meet very awkward people or very shy or something, and then they can show a little bit of their personality, I sometimes think they're so cute, and usually I take away from my experience with that person more than what I would sometimes with someone who's very very charismatic. Sometimes I will go back after meeting someone who hasn't said much or anything and be like, they're really cool. You can tell that they were exuberating their realness, even though they were really shy or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people are super shy.
Well, one thing about that is you're going to feel like you go away happier in the conversation if you're the one that's talking.
That's very true, actually. Yeah.
That's just a thing. If you're the one that's talking and the other
Yeah,
person's
you
just
agree.
listening,
That's
you're
really
like,
good.
wow, they're such a great person.
Yeah.
Yes, happened so many times, and you just listen to them like, dude, you talk for the whole time. You don't know me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so true, actually.
You know?
But what's her name?
Lynn.
Lynn. What Lynn said about being in German culture, and it sounded like masking at work, and it takes so much energy. So I wonder if we have authenticity, and it takes so much courage, right, to be yourself. And maybe me being myself is not fitting in some circle.
Of course.
In some job, and some other. So it's having the courage to be myself, and oh, you don't like that, so being courageous enough to know that there are other people who will take you for who you are.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a clip about Edward Scissorhands. If anyone has ever heard of this, if this is a movie, and this guy there's a clip in the movie where he's just sitting on the curb, just so depressed. And the Edward Scissorhand is this guy who's got insanely long scissors as hands.
It's with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, with Johnny Depp. And he's sitting there on the curb, just so depressed. and a dog comes up to him, and he's just like, gives the dog a haircut. Perfect for the dog. Exactly who he is perfect for this dog. Maybe not for other people, but this is where he comes to understand he's a great barber, right? It's finding your tribe. That's a huge thing about being authentic. And when you can, like, that's why I feel so resonated with Danan, is because I feel that my authenticity is fully is vibrating. It's at its fullest by being here, and I don't need to repress any version of myself.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I'm here too.
Exactly. This is the best thing for you, is by finding the place, the people, and the area that you're around that can just fulfill that full authentic version of yourself.
It can be a topic actually, how to find your tribe.
Yeah, of course. It's a great topic. One thing inside of the authenticity is the inner child. This is also a huge thing. Everyone has a 7-year-old version inside of themselves. But who here allows their inner child to come out? Raise your hands.
For me, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah. People were.
Why are you looking at me?
This
is me as an adult.
What is it?
Yeah, like for me, I cannot feel really authentic, I guess, in surrounded by strangers, a lot of strangers.
Right.
I guess it's like, because last time I've seen this movie, which is called Inside Out 2. I don't know.
Oh my God. So good movie.
And I feel like sometimes when I'm surrounded with people, unknown strangers, I'm like, anxiety comes in, and you're like, and a lot of people start to judge sometimes, like, you are so cold, or you are like not friendly. But it's actually an anxiety talking, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I feel.
Can I give you a tip on that? So, I'm sometimes kind of hard, just straight, honest, like killing with the words. And I don't say always please or thank you, and then some people are like, hey man, like in front of everyone, why you don't just say please or thank you, like you piss me off by not doing that. Say, you're free to spend time with me or go away. And then I didn't want to say that in front of everyone. I just took them both and then speak them with the pride, like, because once you say it, you're not nice. And then you repeat it to many people in front of everyone, that becomes the truth. But it's not just true. I'm really nice and kind, like I have that, but I don't always like, hey please, hey thank you. That's not just part of me. It's not like I'm gonna always do it. I say it, of course, but not always.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not gonna be picky, hey, you didn't say this right now.
Yeah.
So what? You have the choice to be with me or go.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do like approach the same way. Like you have a choice to be with me here, be my friend. No, not just go away, like, or just go, like, I'm accepting you, but you're not accepting me. That's the judging.
Mm-hmm. There's always the internal dialogue of, like you say, like the inside out type of dialogue that goes on. And 99% of the time, like we just heard this example of the people in Times Square just walking over them. People only care about themselves.
It's a paradox sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the spotlight effect, it's called, I think. The same on social media. So, for example, I only post stories for myself, just like a diary, but I don't expect other people to look at it. But sometimes I do think that, but I don't really look at the stories of other people sometimes, because I just think, oh, too much social media detox now.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, but such a paradox sometimes. Sometimes you do think, oh, a lot of people are watching me right now, and sometimes people just pass by and don't think about you at all.
They put themselves in your situation, and if they don't like something that you are, it's that they don't like about something about themselves.
Exactly. It's triggering.
It's the triggering of I don't like that about myself. I can't even see myself as doing that type of thing. So don't even bring that in front of me,
Shadow.
Mirror.
Mirror.
It's a mirror.
But the inner child is a very, very powerful thing to be able to let that run wild. And whenever you're like wanting to feel, it's like the inner child is involved with playfulness, curiosity, courage, wonder, irresponsible, but all at the same time it's learning how to use it in ways that are allowing yourself to be as real as you are. There's times where you just like, I have so much energy. What am I, like, I just, after an ice bath specifically, it's like the inner child is just like out and just like wants to just run around and just yell and scream and do all these things that like a child would do. And yeah, Sasha knows all about it. She's great at...
I only saw you when you were running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. After on
Every time you
the beach ice
come
bath.
out to ice bath. I have a great analogy on how to keep your inner child. Last year, and this is the epiphany I got on some festival. We were on some music festival. It was like a super small family music festival. And so I was watching a father and a mother playing with 3 kids. And they were like, playing on the ground, in grass, just wrestling with the kids, and it was so nice. And it made me thinking, when you look at the kids, so you see them first playing, they go around, they wrestle, they are responsible, as you said, sometimes. But then after they finish playing, you can see them super focused, painting, drawing, or like doing something. And so then I wanted to incorporate in my life, like certain things. I would not every day, but I would want to try to do some silly things to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, you go to work, then you're super focused because you already entertain your inner child.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That because there's this version of you that's like it's kind of like the wild self, the self that like is you could in some people in a man they call it like the wild man who's like into nature and just like yelling and screaming, but it's like those people in our ancient times, they would go off and hunting, this mindset of like attack and finding and like searching, hunter-gatherer, and then they have to come back. They have to regress themselves into a version that is able to communicate and not be so aggressive with their wife and their community and their daughters or sons. They have to transmute that into something else. And that's the exact type of thing why it's so easy for us as we're so wild all of a sudden, letting out all that adrenaline, that energy that's just been built up, and then coming back and being super focused. It's a really, really powerful thing to do. It's a great hack for productivity. But that's the inner child, right? And I want to talk about like, because inside the inner child, this is like one of the topics that I wanted to talk about a little bit. But not too much. It was like one of the possible ones. It's the fragmented personalities. That was one of the options for the topics for this week. But it plays into a role here because it's just different versions of yourself, you could say, that allows yourself to be okay with different behaviors and values and situations that go on and trying to conform to those situations. And so this is involving inside of the fake or the false self. Right, we were talking about this just briefly about the false self and then the idealized self. And so there's a few traps that you can fall into because most of the time people are going to be 99% authentic unless they fall into some traps. And these traps...
I have a question for you. How do you know that people are going to be 99%? Because it's a strong assumption.
Because why wouldn't you? What's the purpose of not being authentic?
How do you know that people are 99% of the time?
Maybe as a kid.
Because it's your assumption.
It is my assumption.
It's your perspective.
But that's where, because people want something, they try to get something. That's where authenticity dies. And so as soon as you come into this world, you want to create, you want to follow, you want to be around people. And then perceptions and these traps get put into the self that are give me pressures, what your parents and social people tell you, competition, comparison, all these things come into play and start to create this world that seems like it has to be win or lose, and there's no such thing as losing. And for me to win, I have to get.
But I think that especially because we're so conditioned by society and our surrounding,
Exactly.
is that we sometimes, or at least like I can say this about my best friend, she once told me she doesn't even know what's her authentic self. So actually I think that's the case for many people, maybe not in this bubble because here it's like more conscious people and stuff, but I think like at least in Germany, for example, I think that many people don't know who they actually are naturally, because we live in the system where we're so conditioned, we always have to fit in, and there's so much pressure and all that. So then, I mean, I think that's the first point, right? Like self-awareness, that you have to know yourself. But I think that's the first step where many people haven't reached that step yet.
I think like some of us probably even have parents. That's a good example of like parents that haven't grown up yet or like done any of the like self-development.
Maybe false self is the part of our nature. So imagine like 20,000 years ago, if you don't fit in, if you don't contribute to your tribe, you were expelled from the tribe. And so you have to, so those tribes you called is the part of your nature, trying to get something out of it, trying to manipulate, but it's actually part of your nature, because if you don't use those tools, you might be expelled from the tribe, and that's certain death.
Yeah, this is the idea of the
mask. It's like everyone in this world's like in a very capitalist world. It's a lot about who you are and how you act, right? And so if you were to say you can't be vulnerable in front of people, it's going to be like, okay, this person is just like, we can just walk all over this person because of how vulnerable this person is, and yada yada. But that's just like, if you want to put yourself in the environments where it's like, okay, I'm only surrounding myself with high class people, or just like the elites of the elites, this is the image that you are then looked at. It's the image of why we want to post stuff on social media sometimes, at least for when I initially wanted to post on social media, because when other people look at me in a better way, then I get more things in a way. This is this whole idea with pretty privilege. This is a thing where I know it's really common in women, where the more attractive they are, the more free stuff they get. And because of more, this is something that I've seen where there's just so much stuff that it's like men want to try to please the women, and so they'll give them a bunch of free stuff just because of that image that she has. And so this image is something that is wanted, a good image in the world view of how the world views this person. And so this can be completely different from who your ideal self is, and this can be bleeding into having a fake self as well. It's a very difficult contrast to have, but it does begin with self-awareness. But you fall into the traps, that makes it easier to fall into, okay, I need to get this and have my image be this high and have this much money and be around these people and only do these things. It's the image that is going to run your world in the way that you're going to start to act, because you want to show up and be this version of how people see you. And so that means you're going to want to say the things or not want to say the things that make this image kind of maintained. But this is trying to get something, right? That's why it's the false self.
But it's still part of your nature. So
it is.
So when you look at the nature, so the more attractive you are, you're going to attract females or like males. Like especially when you look at the birds, how they try to please each other.
Right.
And
they're not authentic. The birds,
they're all fake. Like even males would use their strength or like physical abilities to gain advantage of something. I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just being aware of, like, even when if the woman is super pretty, why she can't use that as advantage? I mean, I'm not saying that to manipulate and like, but if she can get better at her career based on her looks,
Right?
why not?
Yeah, it's a very natural thing to want to do.
Yeah.
It's a balance, right? Because it's like this idea of fake it till you make it, right? But instead of it being fake it till you make it, let's reframe it and just say be it till you see it.
Yeah, so for example, you're actually really good at organizing community. And so maybe you're really good at gathering people. And so now you're using that as an advantage to create a community, which is not necessarily, it's a great thing. I'm not saying it's a really great thing, it's just using your certain advantage to create something to
What advantage do I have?
like I think you're good with people, good communicator, and then using that as a tool to create a community.
Right.
And that's your advantage.
That's the
somebody has
self-awareness.
advantage as a looks, somebody can use physical abilities.
Yeah. Right.
I watched the video yesterday. They say that like about discipline and how lack of discipline makes you ugly, and that people like the first thing to like show off your traits is by looks as well, because like keeping up physical look takes discipline, takes effort. And I'm like, well, okay. I can't agree. Okay. It shows the traits. It shows the discipline. It shows the character.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like it. Because everything you are, it's going to show
In your actions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time it does, unless you're very aware of the image that you want to create and trying to get something from. It's not just getting something for yourself, that is a part of it, but it's getting something from others. That's the whole idea of this false self, that it's the difference between the two. And the way that you even create the false self, so the false is under get, and the ideal, because we have to balance this, right? And this is what the book Go Giver talks about as well. The last law is receiving and being okay with getting things. You can't reject someone when they thank you, right? Like, do you blow it off and say, okay, or just continue on with the conversation, or do you actually accept that compliment that you got? That's where receiving is important. And it's very, very important to receive, because you can't go in this world and give, and create forever. You have to get something. Don't you agree? You can't.
But it takes courage to ask as well.
It does. More authenticity. It takes courage. But that's why you have to balance these two. The false self, because this is the version that's like the person that you are trying to, the version of you that you want people to see yourself as. That not necessarily is the one that's all idolized, that you think of yourself as like the highest version of yourself, but the version that is trying to fall under the idea of other people and trying to fall into the line of, okay, because if I'm this way, then I can be this for people, or I can get this from people. It's like the intention is the thing that is always going to matter at the end of the day. It's always how your originating intention for why you do something is going to determine how authentic someone is. How you can tell if you're being authentic, if this is falling in line with certain ethics, your values, your beliefs. One that you could add on here for the components is consistency. Only in the form of consistent to show up as who you are showing yourself as, and not just being this fragmented personality and all of a sudden showing up as different people to different people, or different self to different people. And so by being consistent in who you are is also another factor of authenticity.
It's also trying to see what I like and what I don't like, and lots of trials and errors.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because some people, it's easier to be authentic, and with others, it's more difficult.
Oh, whoops. Thank you, George.
So I think that.
What did you say? Sorry.
So with some people, it's easier to be authentic than with others. And I don't necessarily feel that with people I cannot be that authentic is because I'm scared or I'm not gorgeous enough. It's just that it doesn't feel natural. It's just I cannot. I don't know how to describe it, but but it's not because of fear. And I don't know if that's like normal, that do you feel the same, or do you think like you're with all the people you're like the same amount of authentic?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, I have the same feeling sometimes. Like, I cannot be authentic with someone who is new to me, and like, of course, with a person that I know, like my friend or my family or loved ones, I'm the most authentic. But with different people, I'm kind of sometimes a little different.
Yeah, I can be
That's a
authentic.
really good question.
That's
Because Lynn mentioned masks.
Not really, to be honest.
Depending on the vibes.
Yeah, depending on the vibes. Like I can be super authentic also with people I don't know at all.
Yeah.
Like I can be very authentic from the first minute on, but it just depends on the person. If the person gives me the feeling that I don't know if the vibe is just the same.
I mean, why would you want to be authentic to someone that's being fake to you? It's like, why spend that energy trying to, I mean, technically you would say that you're already showing up as your authentic self, and so it shouldn't like need any extra energy to be that. But just to be around that kind of energy is very draining in itself, because it's like you have to, it almost feels like you have to keep yourself up, and to, because this is also the thing that you want to do. It's like, I want to be authentic, I want to be real with this person. And so then that idea starts to get put into the head. It's like, oh, I still need to do this and I still need to show up. And it's because it's more difficult with a person that is not relating with you. And that's easy for the self to just be the fullest version of the self, where the more energy and effort it is to maintain your image. The image that is what you want yourself to be, but then also the image of maybe being authentic is within your fake, your false self as well, where it's like, I want people to see that I'm authentic. I want people to know that I am authentic. And so that could be just through a form of, because whenever we look at the false self, it's in the eyes of others. That's what it is. It's about getting in this version of comparison, and so when we're looking at this of, okay, I don't know if this person is going to react to me, I don't know who they are. It's like there's this uncertainty that's there of who this person is. And yeah, you know, it's something that you will never really find out. Even if you know this person for a week, maybe you're just like able to connect with them on such a deep level, but sometimes you meet someone that all of a sudden you know is just, you feel like you've known them your entire life. And then there's other people where you can't even connect with them at all. And it's just like this complete contrast. But it's like we don't put any effort or energy or attention to the people that we just kind of connect with so immediately, and more energy is being taken away for the people that is more challenging for us, because it's, again, trying to maintain this image. If it's easier for us to maintain this image over here on this side, when we're with people that is easy for us to get along. But then when it's someone that is hard for us to get along, it's like, okay, maybe you do care, or you don't care about trying to show up as this person, because you're just like, you've gotten to that point where you're like, you know what? They can accept me for who I am. I just like, you're here or you're gone. You know what I mean?
But then no wait,
yes,
just don't lie.
it's a boundary. That's the whole thing. It's just a boundary. That's what I'm like adding on to what you're talking
Now I have a
about.
question. Like for me, authenticity is like living by your values, right? So like following your guts, like honest and blah blah blah.
Sure.
But or is it like, you know, being in different occasions, in different situations, like showing your real face every time? I mean, like not
Is that
having
possible?
different roles. Yeah,
Is
is
that
it even
possible?
possible? I think it's not possible.
Ooh, does your face change every day?
No, I mean like being in different situations is like different, you know, like with parents you're different, with other people you're different, with close one you're different as well. So it's like, I think these are different parts of authenticity as well.
But it's also the way that we want to treat others as well, based on our own idea of this relationship, our conceptualized, the box that we put people in. And so we will treat people based on what box that we put them in. As soon as you meet someone, you find out an idea of their personality, you find out who they are, you kind of learn a little bit about their characteristics, and from there, you create a box, an image of who they are very quickly. It happens very, very quickly. And when this happens is then you will start to treat this person within this range of the box. And it's hard to treat them as a different person that you see. And so there's this idea of fragmented personalities because you're treating people technically different on all these different levels. But it's the way that the self is looking at these people inside of the relationship and what this relationship means to me. Yes, it's like your parents, I know them, I love them, at the core I love them, right? But why do I need to be just so hyper energetic or just like as I would with my friends all the time? It's like that relationship is just subconscious where I don't need to try to win them over, where it's like with a new person, sometimes it's where you want to try to win them over and making them appreciate you, like you, right? So, yeah.
Finish what you were saying.
I think that was.
Oh, okay. No, I just think, is it Melissa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what Melissa said. I think we're very, very like privileged to be sitting here talking about authenticity because I feel like I moved here almost 6 years ago. Very much so, like I was always very honest. I could never like hide with my face how I'm feeling and stuff. But like, I don't think I was my authentic self. Like I came here, I partied a lot. Like I lived in Hanoi. I like was trying to be friends with everyone, you know, and like being a people pleaser, and absolutely like not like pouring out of my own cup and like emptying it basically until it was no more. And then, but the thing is, it's like when you talk about Germany. And same in Ireland, same in America, same everywhere. Like people are so busy every day going to work, like they're so distracted by like the conforms of society that they don't have the chance to think about who they are. Because like, for example, like my parents are so hard to talk to. They're not like, they don't understand, you know, like feelings or emotions or anything like. And they don't want to know about it either. But if you ever came to them about authenticity, they'd be like, you have too much time on your hands. You know, like, you spend too much time on the internet. You know, like, as in, the older generation and, like, the people, even my own age friends that are, like, in the corporate world, yeah, they're doing great in life, you know, but they have not had the chance to sit back and realize, who am I? Am I being my authentic self? They could come home from work and they could be like, yeah, I was really had a good day, I acted like myself. But really, at the core, they don't know who they are, like their real values, because they haven't spent the time to evaluate their values, basically. So I feel like we're very privileged here because in Da Nang, mostly you do have more time than like other people in the West that are like working for a boss 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, just on the rat race, you know? And they just, self-care is like, yeah, going to a yoga class or going to the gym at 6 a.m., but it's not like thinking about, you know, the pillars of who
It's not
you
their
are.
choice.
Yeah, it's not by choice. It's not by choice. No, I'm not
It's
saying
not their
that
choice.
these people are choosing to be that way. It's just, I'm glad society and like that there is a generation of us that are privileged enough to be sitting here to hopefully spread that out of this room, you know, and back home to our families and things like that.
I agree. Sorry, I agree with girls because I think authenticity is like a lifelong journey.
It's such
You
a
cannot
journey.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Nobody
taken
wants to
years
say like
and
I'm
years and
authentic.
years to even
For
get
sure.
to know myself.
But we heard so
You
many
need to learn
times,
about
be
yourself.
authentic, be yourself, or like, but what does that even mean? So like, you can break your authenticity of like being yourself. Like
Like you
it
could
can
have a
be-
really
it
strong
can be charisma,
ego.
it can be I don't know, optimism, it can be
This
so
is for
many-
you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this is like, it's very personal. You're the only one that can define authenticity.
Yeah, yeah.
It can't be, your authentic version it's very, very specific to
But
who.
some people would think that they're authentic if they have a big ego. Like
Oh, yeah.
someone who goes out and is charismatic, bit egotistical, they might think that they're being their authentic self. Whereas, because they're not aware of the ego. So that's
I'm
That's
sorry, I'm not trying to disrupt. I don't know, first time here and I have the event tonight that I'm preparing. I have to leave. I don't know how long this lasts.
Yeah, we were just actually, it was just ending right now.
Oh.
It ends at 12:30. It's only 90 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just finishing up this little thing, the conversation thread
Yeah, okay.
that we had.
Always 90 minutes.
Yeah, always 90 minutes. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that you can ask yourself today, and I would honestly, after this, if you really wanted to, just dive into writing like a page-long reflection on this. You know, it's like, what are the give yourself, what are your components of authenticity inside of this, right? And how can you be honest with yourself, with others, your inner child? What is your relationship with your false self and your idealized self? It's like, talk to yourself about this. I cannot necessarily help. I can only help you by questioning you. That's the job of a coach, is to just question you. But you're the person that needs to talk to yourself about this. And so ask yourself what your relationship is with your relationships, and how honest with yourself are you on a daily basis. So if anyone has time, I would love to just take you down for like 30 seconds or a minute and just do like a little interview type of thing, and just like just your reflection on people who've been to the class so far. I would just love to take just like feedback of what you think of the workshop, me, and the process of all of
You
this.
can be your guinea pigs.
Huh?
You can be your guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Now?
It just, yeah, as we just kind of go, I want to get a picture as well. And then for everyone who isn't here, the donation is right next to the Buddha on that glass plate. Just leave whatever you would like, just to keep this support going for the workshop, for the location, and I'll post all of this stuff inside the community for I'll give you guys the book as well, and all the recap inside. Unfortunately, I'm gonna start kicking people out of the online community for those who are not being active, just because I want people that are actually honest and really dedicated and committed to being the truest version, honest, real version of themselves, and I want that community to be really just
How,
hot.
how can you be active?
You mean in
School.
Yeah, on school.
What's
So and it's the community school.
Oh, okay.
It's-
I think I'm not in
You are not. I haven't.
in your
I'll put you in this.
Antra Pioneer. And so I put the recaps in here, I put the recordings in there, and I put other stuff in
How
there.
do you measure our activeness?
On the school, there is I can look at your profile and it shows me how active you are.
So let's just make sure how active we have to be.
Just it's like, I can see when was the last time someone logged on. It could have been 80 days ago, or it could have been yesterday. You know.
That's a good one.
And so there's different ways to look at it, but I just want people to participate in this, and I will start kicking people out of that if they.
Authenticity.
Yeah. If,
Oh, no, that's a good one. You know, I delete people from my subscriber list if they're not active. I just say. go.
Can I also?
Share something.
We do some event tonight. It's a movie night. Would like to invite you. It's free event. We're gonna present also a new space, new ideas, and it's gonna be really fun.
And I think
What's
it's
so?
movie about purpose. And
Yeah,
authenticity.
dreams.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
I think.
What
it's
time?
Similar to Inside
Seven.
Out.
La La Land.
7 p.m.
La La Land.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
So it's similar to Inside Out. It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Go ahead and just send the movie.
I don't wanna because of the group.
Yeah, you can send it, and I'm giving you permission to put it in the group, just like the 7 p.m. type of thing. So,
Yeah. Amazing.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, amigo.